Hi, everybody.
Welcome on into our
Oh my
April
god.
community.
Okay, okay, um, I just noticed that this was on, and I just like be sure to like start streaming as soon as possible. So yeah, testing audio. Okay, yeah, now let's just watch. You guys need to watch this live.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome on into our April community stream. I am one of your hosts, Dork, community manager, and with me is
I'm Eric. I'm the community director here. We are on the same team. We have fun.
we are on the same team. We have fun. Yeah, and so we're just going to do a really quick news and update segment for you all to bring you up to speed on what's been happening in the world of Dead by Daylight before we pass you over to our another team who's going to be going over some more in-depth game additions, events, and information. So to start us off, I wanted to go ahead and say a huge thank you to everyone who went ahead and bought tickets for the 10th anniversary, as we are now sold out
Nice.
on both tiers. So thank you so much for going ahead and grab a ticket, and I can't wait to see you guys there.
I'm so psyched. It still doesn't feel real because, you know, we live online with all of you people. To actually be in the same physical space is going to be great. We had a little taste of it last year when I went to PAX. You're going to get a taste of it this weekend? Next weekend?
Next weekend, yeah.
Scotland? What are you doing there?
Oh, well, we're going to
Oh yeah, I
HorrorCon
forgot about
Glasgow.
this.
We'll be there on
Yeah, I forgot
April
about Scotland.
11th. Super excited to meet everyone across the pond and to do the interactive Dead by Daylight event. I'm so excited to actually work on a gen and get chased by the Huntress. So that's going to be so cool. And, you know, we'll see if my knees can handle it. But I'm excited to give it a shot.
Shout out to Scotland Laura running the thing. She sent us some in-progress stuff because they're doing a DVD experience you can go through. Send us some of the stuff they're concepting. It's super cool. May or may not be a blight there.
Blight. Wait, is this? Wait, is the? Oh no, I think.
Okay, on with the news.
Oh, thank God.
Before on the show, it has my face.
Oh, thank God. I was frozen for a second.
Publishing, so we just wanted to give a quick shout out. Tomorrow's their 1.0 launch on Steam, so if that's a game you've been interested in, check it out. If it's not, let's move on. Blood Moon is going on right now, as you hopefully know. If you don't, you should go get in there and start loading up your blood points. I don't know. It's going until April 16th, but something that is special this week, we now have a Twitch drop live.
Twitch drop?
A new Twitch drop. It's called the Moonbite Twitch drop. All you got to do is watch 2
hours
of DVD directory, so including the show. And you get that.
Yeah, and then a quick shout out to our V fans, as she'll be getting a great outfit coming with Songkran, the Songkran collection, in a couple of weeks. Songkran is the name of the Thai New Year, and it happens on April 13th. So it's going to be really exciting for her to have that new piece, and you can grab that and celebrate the holiday through V this year.
Well, people were aching for some V.
I'm aching for some V cosmetics, so yeah, I'm super excited to get my hands on that.
Yeah. Also, just chat. How's our audio? We got some new stuff going on over here.
It's decent.
Shouting about audio, which is a good sign. How we doing? Check in with us while we continue. Oh.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All sounds good. I'm seeing good quality. Audio is good. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the goal. So
Looking forward to Grimoire.
We're not doing a Grimoire deep dive. We do those when we have a vote. So we don't have a vote today, but we do next week on the 9th. We're going to be talking. We're going to be voting on a killer cosmetic concept, a survivor cosmetic concept, and chapter key art. If you don't know what that is, that means you don't work in marketing. Key art is basically the main image you see when we have a new chapter, and we want you to help us choose that. So that's going to be
I guess basic cosmetics and key art. That's the next vote.
Later this month, so stay tuned for that. Super excited for 2v8 to be making its way back into the fog, and then we'll be having the PTB.
Oh yeah, 2v8.
PTB starts, and the folks that are about to come on to dive into a bunch of design stuff will share what you'll be checking out in that. We'll share some info about that 2v8. So that's it for Dork and I. We've got a lot more show to come, so let's hand it over to Mandy and the crew.
All right.
Okay, so wonder what we're gonna get in like the Okay, DVD news and updates. What we're getting in like 2v8 next. Sorry, I've had Subway and an Easter egg. So my appetite it's not very good right now, and I'm sick. Actually, I might just like skip ahead because here we go. Now I won't have to wait as long. Like I keep on forgetting like the times. I keep forgetting like the times of the community streams. Nice. Hey, Mandy.
Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. And thank you for joining us today. So this is going to be our little live design segment. And I've got some very special guests with me today that I'm excited to have. So everybody, we're going to start with... And what is your name? I forgot.
Oh, great. Hello, everybody. So you've probably seen me on here before. I'm Justin Banks. I'm one of the associate product directors on DBD. So today, I'm going to talk to all of you about 2v8.
Alright,
Now,
what's next in the
I'm making
CV8?
sure it's on the
Hopefully
Everything's
number
chat
survivor
and everything is
buffs.
like, hi, Pappy Diego.
Oh, hello, everyone. Okay, some people recognize.
Okay, there we go. So
No.
just making sure the screen transitions, and we are good. All right, so we're talking about live design today with these other fine gentlemen. But I do want to get started by talking about 2v8 because there's a little bit of live design, let's say, that goes into that. Now, firstly, if you've seen the roadmap for April, you know that the next 2v8 is coming out at the end of April along with the release. Of course, should dates change for any reason, this will still follow the release.
Mhm.
And I want to mention a few things about it because I have some updates for you, but there are some very interesting things that you'll just have to wait until the middle of April to find out. So maybe what the theme that goes along with it for the 2v8 and for the Rift, we got some cool stuff, but you'll find out about that in a few weeks. Now, what
Okay,
is in
Rift.
this next 2v8 to share with you guys is some changes for Deathslinger and for the Oni. So you're going to see
Please.
that Oni will have a slight nerf, and
Why?
Deathslinger will have a nice little buff. Now, there's no new additions of killers
Okay,
in this
why
instance,
is Oni
which is
getting a
something that
nerf?
we'll talk about maybe
Because he's like a
little bit
balanced
after towards the
killer.
end of my portion, 'cause I want
Deathswing buff is welcome though, and hopefully
add a new killer
Yeah.
into 2v8 itself.
hold on a second,
So
I'm
just
going to alright, this is 2v8. So I went back because I think I might have like talked over some some commentary. Okay, so 2v8
something
okay,
that
good.
we'll talk about maybe a little bit after towards the end
I
of my
thought this-
portion, 'cause I want
I thought this was like main mode for a second.
to actually add a new killer
Yeah.
into 2v8 itself. Now, in addition to balance changes for these two, we are also updating the anti-camp system that we have in here.
It
So
better
most
not.
significantly, right now, if you were to play 2v8 when it was live, is if the anti-camp meter would be full, you would be relocated somewhere else on the map, even if you didn't actually want to be, because maybe someone was coming nearby to save you. So now that's going to be up to you as a survivor to change your location once it's built. So you could stay there if you want. You're not being forced around the map at all. And we hope that's really going to help everyone, optimize their saving strategy.
That sounds good. Is there going to be like an action key that people can use so that
Yeah.
they're going to have that option?
I mean, so as a survivor in the cage, you are going to have a button available to you to press that to relocate around the map.
That's brilliant. I like that.
Again, you still can't control exactly where you're going, so you do take that risk, but it's probably better than being moved away from someone who is about to save
It
you.
was about to save, yeah.
So-
Yeah, because that was a point of frustration for players
Yeah,
before.
so I think
Yeah.
that's going to be a really good improvement. Now, for maps that we're bringing in, we are bringing in Temple of Purgation, and I believe
Okay.
Ironworks of Misery. I just want to make sure I'm getting the name right because we have a lot of maps.
Yeah.
Oh
you are.
boy.
So we're just trying to bring in some more fan favorites from existing realms that we have, that we know our players are going
I
to
think
enjoy.
that's going to be like the original layouts.
Overall, that's what's coming for the next 2v8.
And no new
Now, there is
killers.
a question that we get often, which is what is happening with Legion in 2v8? And as we talk about killer inclusion and why how we choose them, this is, I would say, a misstep that we want to admit we took. So Legion right now is going to still show as not active or kill switched. For a future 2v8, it will show properly as not available in this mode, and so we want to make it very clear. We tried quite a few things to get Legion to work in 2v8 internally. Ultimately, there was not a way we could find it to be fun without modifying the power in a drastic way. And that's something we always want to avoid. We want to avoid changing it from a power that you recognize if you are used to this killer in 1v4. So there are no current plans to re-add Legion, so I just want to make that very clear to everybody. And we
That's
have a lot of
unfortunate.
guidelines to help us avoid this situation in the future. So as we go on to some of that to explain a bit better, when we actually choose killers for 2v8, barring Legion, let's say, there are some objectives and guidelines that we're trying to follow, and that means I'll be discussing this a lot internally with usually these folks next to me, as it's a lot of design and UX that we need to discuss, and probably some community needs where Mandy will chime in as well.
I can't keep my mouth shut, basically. So yeah.
I didn't say a thing.
You insinuated it.
So what we try to do when picking killers that we want to add into 2v8, we want to ensure that they are simple to understand, they are fun for both roles, and there's a strong usage and appreciation for them in 1v4. There are also some other things that we always need to consider whenever we're adding a killer at all into 2v8, which is that, sorry, fun animation playing here as we go, is that adding any new killer to 2v8 will increase the killer queue times. This is something we've seen in the past, and so we do try to offset this with some survivor side gameplay to make sure that both roles are equally interesting. So there have been some 2v8s in the past where we focused on more of the survivor side gameplay, or we added something like play while you wait, but this is always going to be a thing. If we're adding a new killer, the killer queue time in 2v8 will increase. Then there's also the matter that we have our resources shared across all of our events and even across other areas of the game, because we tried to work a little bit in pods and reserving resources for everything, but DBD is a game, we're a team. Resources are going to be shared when they're needed for one item or another.
Yeah.
So if we're trying to add a difficult killer, let's say to 2v8, that's going to take away from somewhere else. So that being mentioned, I want to get into some more interesting stuff where we peel back a little bit more of the curtain, which is why are some actually taking longer than others? So I'm pretty sure I've seen on some Reddit posts that some people are discussing, I want this one, I want that one.
Yeah.
I want to really make
that a
sure
lot.
that the expectations for players are kind of in check, so they can understand why it might be taking longer to add some favorites versus others. So I have 4 big reasons that I am discussing with Matt here a lot.
Like every day. It's fine.
Every day, I think. So one reason is world VFX. So when we have killer powers that are going to affect the entire environment, like Dredge causing Nightfall, Freddy causing Dream World, these are questions of, well, how do these actually go together? Is there a priority of one happens over the next? What happens if we introduce another killer later on that has the same?
If
type of
anything,
effect?
that's probably like a reason like
So it's-
to do it
There's
sooner.
essentially a systemic or
Because you
systematic
need-
approach
because
that
you
we
need to,
take and
like-
solve, but it takes
because you need
time
to, like, bite
solve
the
this, and
bullets,
it takes a lot of exploratory
to
work.
see what works or
It's
and
not
how you can
impossible,
implement
but
it
takes
later.
time. Another one is if we have killer shared interactables. So these are some considerations. Right now, we have Huntress. So this is fine. Huntress is using lockers. But if we add Dredge, who I did mention on the previous slide, then survivors are going to need the ability to lock lockers. Okay, what does that do if someone's using Huntress? Is it a okay experience for us to lock the Huntress away?
Maybe like not
Is that
include the
fun?
ability like to like
Maybe.
lock
But, we
lockers
need to
at
do
all.
Some testing and
Or
to
maybe-
understand the impact on the player. And then if we ever add Trickster into 2v8, it would be the same situation. So we just need to understand what it means, the effort level involved, and what the player experience is going to be. Because we don't want it to end up where using one killer is extremely negative, and we spent the time putting them in for either side.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah. And then there's also the case of, hey, we have a lot of statuses in DBD.
Just one or two.
Yeah. So we love to have killers that can apply statuses. It's a fun way to really expand on the gameplay, keep some good theming in there. But what do you do if you have two killers that have different statuses that are being that are affecting survival? So let's say I've got examples here. If you have Doctor, if your survivor has Madness, but maybe you're also in Dream World and you need to wake up, is that fun? We don't know. So like, there's some exploring we need to do, and if you're infected by by the plague, and you have one of these, well, what's that going to feel like as a player? Is it just an incredibly negative experience? And we want to avoid again what it was like for people playing against Legion. We want both sides to feel fun. So there's likely a solution we can come to, but it's going to take us some time. So I want to be clear, I'm not ruling out any killers, but on the design team, UX, product community, like we all need to do our work and really put our heads to the table of which ones do we prioritize
Yeah,
and put the effort in.
yeah. And we want to put in what people find fun as well.
Exactly.
Like
So
the fun is like one of the
like I said, in the objectives, if both sides find it fun
yeah.
in 1v4, there's likely a good reason and incentive to put them into 2v8.
Yeah, exactly.
I may be getting ahead of the last one slide that I have here, which is killer items.
Yeah.
That's on me.
Yeah, killer
So
items.
this is also more of a spawning issue. How do we support so many different items using spawn locations in a map? But also, now the survivor has multiple side objectives they have to do and spend time away from gens. Maybe it's okay in a map if you're running to one side to wake up because you're asleep from Freddy, or if you're against the pig and you're trying to find your key. What if you have to do both of those at the same time? That might not be fun, but there's probably ways for us to mitigate it and make those work together. Again, that's time intensive. So to recap on those big reasons that we keep seeing come up during our internal discussions, it's World of the effects, it's killer shared interactables, it's multiple statuses, it's killer items, and you can probably think of some killers that fit into all of these categories. I've got Red and Freddy appearing in a few.
Yeah.
So those are some tricky ones to get in, and that's not to say we don't want them. I want to be like entirely clear. We want to find ways, but we have to prioritize. We've got a limited amount of resources, and we want to do so many things on DBD. So we have to pick our battles.
Yeah. That's an
Now-
important one.
Yeah. Now, I've shown one license or a few licenses here, but I know it does come up, and I've seen it mentioned. How do our licenses factor into 2v8 selection? Because we've added quite a few over the past, and
Yeah,
I guess the
licenses.
simplest explanation is these tick all of the boxes right away. Usually our most used licenses are because they're simple, they're fun for both roles, and players just really resonate with them. So this was the reason why we actually sought out Resident Evil to be our first licenses to add in there, and why we're going to continue to see which licenses fit in there, so that the ones that are the most used in 1v4, most enjoyed by both sides, can be used in as much of the game as possible, and so people can live out these crazy, wacky 2v8 fantasies that are extremely fun. Now, I've given, let's say, a bunch of things that we have to consider.
Yeah.
Throw that out for a second. Which killers do you guys actually want to see in 2v8? Let us deal with the workload. But I want you guys to think about which killers do you want to see in.
Okay,
that are
let's
not in
open the
there
panel.
yet?
Oh, chat just went mad.
I have to avoid looking
Oh,
at it.
no, I've got to look at it. Sorry, but it's
I'm
going
blocking
so
it. I
fast.
can't see.
Funny enough, Doctor and Dredge.
Doctor and Dredge. Okay, some work to do. That's
Right,
cool.
Bubba, I'm seeing Bubba quite a bit. I'm seeing a lot of love for Ghoul. I'm
Okay.
sure that's our
So
consultants.
now let's flip the other side of the coin.
Okay.
Which ones should we avoid?
Which ones do you not
Yeah.
want to see?
So Legion's already out, so please you don't have to mention Legion. But is there another killer that? Oh, the chat is going fast. I have to block it.
Now I'm seeing a lot more Ghoul as well.
It's a lot of the same.
It is, isn't it?
a lot of
It's
the,
like,
a lot of the same.
yeah.
That's cool. That's
Okay.
like the work is kind of
Okay.
done for us.
Chat's going. Calm down, chat. Calm down, chat.
Now,
I can't read that fast.
This is obvious. So the chat window is right here. Is why I'm pointing.
Yeah,
looking here,
we can
having
see
to
the chat
avoid
on
it
there.
a little bit. But it's really cool. I like that you guys are active here.
Yeah.
Now,
I like it too.
beyond just the chat, we are going to actually take
Yeah.
your feedback into consideration in a more quantitative form, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay.
during the next 2v8, either during it or when it's over, we are going to include asking you which killers you want to see added or avoided. So this will be a little different from the
Okay.
usual 2v8 ones, asking just about the performance or how
I'm
new
also going
content is
to be
received.
like
We
voting
want to know what you
Spring
want us
Trap
to
and
do
Goal
next or to avoid.
because
And so
because
can
we need to
tell
get
you
more
that
of
we're
those
honestly taking into
memes.
consideration for future decisions of who we add in.
Yeah, I like that way.
Yeah. And I'm very excited to see what everyone says for that. Now, the very last thing that I have before I pass this over to my colleagues on the other couch is, if you remember, we introduced this really loving feature called Play While You Wait to 2v8. It's wonderful. It helps people stay engaged. And a lot of you have been asking, when is it coming to 1v4?
What?
This release, we are finally bringing this into 1v4. So when we see that the roll ratios are beyond a certain value, it will kick in and you will be able to queue as killer while playing as survivor in 1v4. Now, it won't
Okay.
be available on the PTB, but when live, especially when the 2v8 is active as well, that is going to be a great opportunity for that to kick in. So if you want to avoid 2v8, you are still going to have a chance to play in 1v4 without being subjected to crazy queue times. I mean, we are still doing everything
got
to
it.
make the queue times as let's say palatable as possible to keep them low,
Yeah.
but we know it's not always possible, so we're giving people this option so you still have a way to play and not just be stuck there.
No, that'd be great for our content creators as well, because obviously it's not great content when they have to sit and queue and wait for 5 minutes and things.
Yep.
So at least they'll be able to play a survivor game, for example, because it is only that way around, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
for killers only. You
Exactly.
can't queue while you wait as a survivor.
It is still play while you wait.
Yeah.
As you're waiting to play as killer, you can play as a survivor. There's been discussions, I will say, about the other way, but there's no plans on when, if that's needed.
Okay.
But I know some players ask for it.
Yeah. Because you just want it. You just, If one side has it, the other side wants it.
At the end of the
Love
day,
that.
it's which side needs it the most,
Yeah,
and so that's
I
what
get
we
it.
are prioritizing. Now I'll pass this fun little clicker all the way over. Mandy, you get to hand it off.
Yeah, it's got a laser on it that we're not allowed to touch.
We are.
We would play with.
They keep,
so-
they keep telling us, but
yeah,
maybe.
he's gonna
I'm starting to
start.
get a bit
He's gonna
tired.
start, So,
So
Matthew, very happy to have you here.
I just want to play Blood Moon,
Stream.
it's been a little while
but
that I've been
my probably
here,
have
so
to
it's
commit
nice to
slight to
actually
reaction.
indulge with the community for a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
The survey is
It's good to have you
interesting,
here.
It's
guys,
not the,
and I get the
you know,
reasoning, like
the subject I have to
with
talk about, a little bit sensitive, a little bit.
A little bit
Smidge.
spicy.
So for those of you who don't know, Matt, I'm one of the lead designers on DVD. One of the things under my purview is live balance. And live balance is, people have opinions.
Spicy?
Spicy
It gets spicy.
as well.
It gets, yeah.
We got a big game. Let's
And it's tricky in a lot of ways because of course the asymmetry in DBD. How do we please everyone? Or
Kill
how do we please
switch
the most
fast
people?
track,
And it's
please.
a constant challenge. And the most important thing that we've been working on is learning how to please as many people as possible, but also learning from when we have missteps.
Yeah, it's the biggest learning.
Yeah. So the topic I have to talk about is going to be modifier stacking.
modifier
And
stacking.
We've had a lot of issues with a variety of modifier stacking. Modifier stacking tends to lead the meta in the game a lot. Most commonly, we have healing speed, repair speed, gen regression, haste, hindered. Definitely had some
Okay, good.
drama with haste and hindered in the last year.
Open MFTs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
What that-
please nerf healing speed and gen
what
speed,
is
and
the solution that we're going to work on? We want to figure out how to handle applying a form of diminishing returns. So to put it simply, it's just going to be a question of reducing how these modifiers add together. We learned from haste and hindering earlier in the year, just flat out saying there's a cap or just flat out not allowing these things to stack together doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for a variety of reasons and negates entire play styles all at once, and that's not what we're looking for.
It was definitely something that was spicy when we trialed it. There was
Yes.
it affected a lot of players.
okay,
builds and
diminishing
things like
returns.
that.
Let's
And
see.
we heard it. We heard it.
Yeah.
We listened. We reviewed at depth. We took everything the community told us. We looked at everything data said, and we had to come up with,
Data.
before we even start proposing a new solution, what is the goal? Ultimately, the goal is a new lever to balance these modifiers. This means the ability to separate modifier balance between different sources. Different sources, of course, being perks, killer powers,
Okay.
which we may have struggled with in the past, and also
The Shade the Clown.
if we do this, and if we do this well, and it's going to be a process, it's going to take many updates to get exactly where we want to go, and being live balance is going to be constantly reiterated. One of the main goals is to bring generalist and specialized builds a little bit closer together. We know right now that bringing a build as a player by yourself that's hyper specialized in doing one thing leads,
Please nerf visual
leads
sprint
the
burst
meta
and like
in a lot of
fast
already
track
different
and like killing
MR
perks in
ratings.
general.
Yeah.
We see it across the board.
Because
By making generalist builds a little bit closer,
Survivor is really
not
strong right
necessarily
now.
the new meta, it's going to support more build diversity, and
Good.
arguably more importantly, solo queue players are going to have just a better experience. They'll be able to, by doing that, adapt better to the environment. You know, I've definitely had
Please
games
stick the landing
where I
behavior.
come with a
Or please do
dev
this like
jockey
correctly
build,
and use consultants.
You're one of those.
Like you're better. Come on.
But then everyone has one that
Yeah,
I randomly
mine's
get
haste.
paired with.
Mine's haste,
Yeah.
so I will stack haste things. So.
But
yeah.
But if you end up in solo queue and everyone's playing the same way you are, no one can handle. You know, if everyone shows up to Gen Rush,
Yeah.
no one's there to loop with the killer.
Yeah.
You know, so being able to have a better value for players to
Not
play
sure
broadly
if I
and
am.
adapt to the live environment
Okay,
of that
I'm
match
gonna be quiet.
is what we want to do. Functionally, we're capping limitless stacking. It's not a hard cap. It's a, by the way the math is going to work as it iterates over many, many versions, the limits are going to be more predictable. And the more predictable those limitations are, the less abusive synergies are going to exist. That's our goals, which is very broad speaking, but it's what we're working towards. So now we're going to get a little bit more technical, but what is diminishing returns as we see it for the design team? Each instance of a given modifier, or for each instance of a given modifier, their values will be reduced. And they will be ordered from the largest to smallest. That is to say, whatever your will take haste. Whatever your biggest source of haste, if you have multiple sources of haste, it will be given to you full. The next source of haste will be reduced. The next source of haste will be reduced.
Okay.
Question now. When you say the next source of haste, is it the next one introduced? So, for example, if you've got MFT and Hope.
Yeah.
So it's endgame. I've got Hope active. Then MFT is active. Is Hope first or MFT first?
It's going to adjust live.
Okay.
So anytime something gets introduced, and I'll talk more about it in a little bit, every time a new source or a new variable for that stat gets introduced, it'll automatically be adjusted.
Perfect.
Yeah. The reductions will increase. The reductions applied to each of these will increase as the base modifier decreases. What does that mean? Well, that means the largest source of a buff, and these values are what we're testing with right now, and they are not set in stone, definitely not for eternity. Your biggest,
Okay, I'm
your largest
confused.
source of a stat will be given to full, 100%. The next will be halved. The next will be quartered, and so on. So I think a good example.
Okay, so it's going to be okay, so first it's going to be like 100% of the original value, and then next it's going to be 50%, and then 20%, and then 4% and 5%. Okay, I'm not properly like understanding this, but we'll continue.
Example of this tying into your question, we'll talk about healing perks as an example. Let's say you have botany knowledge, and
Okay.
botany knowledge 50% heal speed.
Mhm.
But then you have desperate measures, and currently there's 2 hook states.
Mm.
So
Okay.
2 hook states is 40%.
Yeah.
In this case, the 40% will be halved to 20%.
Okay, so you get
Okay.
50%.
So you still get the 50% in
Okay.
full. However, if you get another hook state for desperate measures,
Mm-hmm.
that puts it to 60.
Yeah.
It's at the top. You will now get the full 60% for desperate measures, and botany knowledge will be halved.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
So the
Now I
diminishing
get it.
returns
Okay.
are going to be applied.
Okay, so basically so desperate measures is like okay, so this value will be halved and you still get this value. Is that what I'm getting at? Okay. I am still confused how this works.
Dynamically as the game evolves.
No, I
Always
get you. That makes
favoring the
sense.
higher.
Always
Yeah.
favoring
I
the
get that
highest.
English isn't their first language, but still.
That's where I was getting confused.
Yeah. So it's one of the reasons we did this was we wanted to make sure that the values were what we were having control over, not the ideal timing. We want most perks to be able to interact. We know that some players like having, I like having my haste consistently throughout the match, even if it's lower. Other players prefer to have their haste all at once when they really need it,
That's me.
So
That explains a lot, Mandy.
That's the fun, isn't it? Though, is that we all have different play styles.
That's it.
That's the thing. It's like we're trying to support everything, and it's not always easy to be able to support that many play styles in the game.
So this is going to go in place during the PTV.
Yeah.
We're going to monitor it and possibly make some adjustments based on how PTV goes, as we normally do. But with very few exceptions, we're not doing a big pass on all of the perks and all of the other sources right away. This is going to be a big meta change. New interactions are going to be viable. Other interactions are going to be a little bit less viable. Aside from some outliers that we've already identified, which we will address, and some outliers that will show up during PTB and during early iterations, so release and so on.
This is interesting.
How the dust settles. And then how the dust settles, we're going to look at improving and improving and improving. So to get back to where the game is now in terms of how strong many builds are or many playstyles are, the expectation is, again, aside from some outliers as we identify them, the expectation is a lot more buffs in general to different aspects of the game.
That's what we like. We like buffs. We need to. I'm seeing a lot of questions in chat about how does this impact killers?
So it impacts killers a few ways. One of them, one thing I'll address very quickly is add-ons, which also applies to killers. It applies to items on the survivor side. Add-ons are modifiers to the base value being applied from the killer power or the item.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no diminishing returns applied to add-ons.
Thank
Add-ons
God.
determine what the base value is of the killer power. Trapper has haste in his base kit as an example. So Trapper's base kit haste, if it's affected by an add-on, that'll be the one value, the modified value, that's compared to all the perks he gets with it.
Okay.
So this allows us certain
These
things.
we don't
A
need
big
that gear
one,
powers
I'll
being
use
nerfed.
Trapper as an example. Not that he's being changed soon. I'm not promising anything yet. But
Come on, buff
how
Trapper.
often has it happened where we've seen feedback that, we nerf a perk because it's super problematic, especially with a certain killer. And then we nerf that perk, but other less performing killers all of a sudden, they needed it.
Yeah.
And now they're all so much
Yeah.
worse. Well,
Yeah,
now, and again, I'll use
addressing
Trapper
it.
as an example, we can buff haste in Trapper's base kit because we know there's a limit on how it's going to stack, and we don't have to nerf all the killer sources of haste and perks as a side
Okay.
effect. So it gives us, again, more flexibility to safely play with these things.
Yeah, so because we've seen
If they
over
execute
the
correctly,
years that
though.
we've had to like maybe nerf perks harder than we would have because this of
Yeah.
one specific killer or one specific scenario. So that gives you more control over that.
That's it. It's the more performing killers will not hold less performing killers hostage,
That's going to be
which
good.
which has been a problem historically.
Yeah,
So that's it for diminishing returns.
the maths is done, so
The-
that's good. It's
the
like
big- the big math part is
the
done.
numbers are part are gone.
Fun.
No, I
Um,
can't do maths.
We are going to have some killer updates.
Yes, this is the good stuff. We like killer updates.
Yeah.
Okay, killer updates.
Many of these are due to the diminishing returns, some of them less so. But first,
Okay,
there's some ups
let's
and
see what they
downs.
are.
So we'll talk about the downs first. Which
Yep.
killers are going to get some nerfs? And we're
Please
gonna
don't
start-
up.
there's really only
Please
two.
don't be a
So we're gonna
C tier
start
killer
with
or below.
Blight.
Woohoo! Blight's getting
Blight,
nerfed.
you know, we're talking to people in the community, especially big Blight players.
Yeah.
I'm going to say before I get into the details of this pass is this is step 1 of 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We
Okay, so
wanna
1, 2. Okay.
tune some base kit things down. So when we do a little bit more of a rework later, the rework is not just nerfs. The rework is, you know, depending on where he settles, maybe it's a bit up, maybe it's a bit lateral, but an improvement to the experience. Playing
Okay,
with
Blight
and
is
playing
getting
against Blight.
nerfed, so that's good.
So for starters, speed reduction. Blight is going to be going from 4.6 to 4.4.
They finally did it.
Next is
I think chat is supporting
I'm
this.
watching
by the
it.
way.
There's
There's a lot of
there's a lot of
W's.
W's.
There's a lot of W's in this chat.
The next
Hi,
one.
chat.
Then the next one is pallet breaking.
Yeah.
We're reducing rush tokens on pallet break. Now it'll move
Okay,
down to
I'm
2
match.
below maximum
Okay.
and resets the current rush token recharge.
Okay,
This is gonna be-
nice.
You know,
Yeah.
he goes and he goes and he goes until he has to slow down, and he will actually slow
Okay,
down.
Blight's receiving some
Oh,
significant
designer.
nerfs, which is
Breaking
good.
pallets in this case, we should specify basic breaks, special break actions. However, you're breaking the pallet.
I
That's a
get
lot of
confused with
W's.
that. It's a lot of W's, but I think most people agree this has been a long time. It's like this is actually something we've had in the works for quite some time. It's
Yeah.
just looking at the right moment. And we did work with some Blight mains. We have a very important Blight main as one of our consultants who has been involved in the process and will be continued to be involved
Yeah.
in
Is it
whatever
Lilith?
happens in the future with Blight. And that's been super handy actually because
Been hugely helpful.
yeah, having
helped
that
us-
knowledge and ability on the killer
Yeah.
is
It's-
helped us see where we
It saved time and iteration too,
exactly.
right? When
Exactly, because you can
They
look at it on
finally
paper
made
and
Blight
say,
like
"Yellow,
4.4,
yeah,
although that's
that-
gonna
oh,
make
that's
it like
great, no,
pretty
that-
hard,
and it's just helped
like
a
for me to
lot.
like play Blight more.
so the next killer that's getting you know, a little bit of a takedown, and we'll see how they react.
And before they reveal it, I'm going to screenshot this, like just so we can like share on Discord. Hold on a second, I messed up that screenshot like with the snipping tool. There we go.
This time
I'll share it later.
is Nurse.
Nurse.
Nurse is getting a small reduction
Lunge
in her
duration.
last breath add-on.
There's a lot of W's again.
Yeah.
A lot of
Look
W's.
at that. Look at that.
But before I saw a Matt is goat, by the way.
Oh, really?
Okay, that
And
I gotta call it out.
hey, that's just an add-on though.
Easy ego.
he needs the ego. Come on, it's
Yeah.
like I'll be honest. A big thing being on your first live stream is it's a big thing. It's nerve-wracking, and you're doing great.
So for now, it's just the add-on change. You know,
Okay, just
we
an
have
add-on.
other ideas in the long term for Nurse, but again, this is no promises on when or how. We want to take down the thing that we know is the most abusive with her, and then go from there.
But she's in our sights.
But she's in our sights.
Exactly. Because people are like, we don't listen. We do listen. She's in our site.
Yeah.
She's on the list.
So, buffs.
Buffs.
Woo,
This
buffs.
is fun.
Yes.
This is the
Please
fun
buff
stuff.
C tier
Now, there's not
killers.
a lot to say.
Please buff C tier and D
Bear
tier
with me.
killers.
All of this, again, related to diminishing returns, numerical tweaks for now.
Please.
So just small. In some cases,
And buff my boy
it's,
Demo.
You know, one stat that changes, give or take. Some more, some, well, not less than one, but
Yeah. And they're not the end of it.
They're not
Like,
the end.
We're not saying, oh, this is having this little number change and that's it. We're forgetting about them.
That's it.
That isn't the case.
it's just to put us in the position with the perk change or with the diminishing returns changes
Yeah.
to be able to best evaluate what we're going to do.
Exactly.
So who's getting some small tweaks in the positive? Well, the Cannibal and Doctor
Okay.
and Demogorgon
Yay, demo!
and Dredge and Ghostface,
Yay, Ghostface.
Mastermind, especially now that he's been
Oh.
Yeah.
fixed.
Which is still work in progress. We still got some bug fixes
Yeah.
to go.
Woohoo, they're
there is still a couple
buffing
of things
C
outstanding
tier like in
with
D tier
Melissa.
killers. Nice.
We are still working on that for the people who are asking because I have seen quite a bit in chat.
Mostly
still work
C
in progress.
tiers. Then we have D tier and B tier.
Unknown,
Yay,
Nice.
unknown.
finally getting some love.
Yes.
Yay.
And Animatronic.
Asterisk.
Now, animatronic, I put an asterisk. There's a little bit of up and down. We want to improve the value for survivors to interact with the camera.
Yeah.
So, in that way, it's a bit of a down. But we're giving him some stat buffs to compensate.
Okay. Cool.
So, if survivors still don't interact with the camera, it's all buff. It's really how are you going to play that's going to determine how big or small the change it is.
Okay, so they're
Oh, well, this is gonna
going.
be an interesting one.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to this PTV now. I am, and I swear I haven't seen many demo please in the chat, and it just made me really sad. So can we have some demo please in chat, please?
Demo
Emma's getting
please,
some
demo
buffs.
please. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna
Demo
like
please is
bring
my
up the
favourite
stream on
emote
like
on Twitch.
on my
Thank
phone.
You, chat.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good. I do good?
You did really, really good.
Great.
You did. You did great, and I've seen a lot of questions coming in, but a lot of them are things that you were covering in the whole thing. So that is really good. I'm excited to show the patch
Okay, there we
notes
go.
next week.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday is the big day, so that's going
I'm
to
glad
be
my
good.
boy Demo is getting love. And hold on a second. Here we go. There we
A
go.
lot of questions coming in. Really good. I'm excited to show the patch notes next week.
Yeah.
Here we go. I had to take some
Tuesday is the big
screenshots.
day, so that's going to be good.
It's all the theory crafting can start.
Yeah, all the
Yeah, we got
things
some
about what we want
promising
buffs on
stuff.
Ghostface and things like that. And actually, I've also heard that
If they pull off
from
correctly,
other
that
Ghostface
is.
mains that the lean is feeling so much better since there's been some adjustments with the reveal mechanic.
Yep.
So they're saying that with some little buffs is actually a really, really nice timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put him in a much better place too,
Exactly.
which is good.
Exactly. So thank you very, very much, Matthew.
Uh,
And now we have someone who I think you know. I think you've been here before.
Yeah, I have just shown my face once.
Once or twice.
Yeah,
once
yeah.
Or twice.
They haven't able to keep me out.
Yeah, we can't keep him away. Please welcome Diego, chat.
Yay, Diego.
Yeah, so for whoever doesn't know me, I'm the UX design lead, Diego. Yes, I have been here a couple of times. And the chat have provided me with a nickname, so you're going to read it there.
Happy Diego.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use it forever and a day. Sorry.
So let's go. So as an intro to this section, as a lot of you may be already aware, because it's something that we have been communicating the past few live streams and overall with Dead by Daylight.
Whoops daisy.
Among all the
I didn't
efforts,
realize
all
that.
the attention we're putting to make the game fun, more engaging, we're also thinking about our next
Okay, there we go.
for newer players, so people that just
I didn't
getting to
realize that,
know
like,
the game. Also, friends
didn't
of
realize that
ours
like
sometimes,
leaving Edge would
we
cause
have managed to manipulate them into playing the game
the stream to go
finally with us.
black.
So to make the experience more fun for them.
Manipulating your friends,
Yeah,
blackmail, bribery.
exactly. Anything
I don't
that
think
it
this
is.
much anyway,
No,
so it's
the
fine.
goal justify the means. So we are really putting our attention there, and this doesn't mean that we are trying to make the game quote unquote easier in the sense of like, oh, it's going to be easier for a survivor or a killer to win. We want to keep the challenge there. We want to keep also what is known to be fun, to be engaging for our experienced players too. So every time we do this, we just ask ourselves, how can we meet newer players' need better, improve this onboarding experience we make, while also keeping the experience great or even better for experienced players. So one thing is that
Okay, remove
we
friction.
that as we try new stuff, as we adjust things so they can
What's
work when
friction?
you're a new player and when you're an experienced player, may be challenging because we are used to things. We are used to see something work in this manner and another way. So although we believe in the changes we made, we don't just make a change because we want to make a change. We also acknowledge that sometimes this thing for some people can take some adjustment period. So we understand.
Change is hard. Change is hard to get used to.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
changes, and especially it's something that players have used for maybe 10 years now, and then that changes. That can be really difficult to adjust to.
Exactly. We all have been there.
Yeah.
So many different.
Yeah.
So
Me included. Like I've played this game many years, as you know. It's like change
and you
happens,
change
and I'm like,
you
"Huh?"
hate the changes I do. So yeah, I know
Yeah.
that.
Thanks, Diego, for
No,
calling me out.
no.
Mandy hates all the changes we make.
Yeah, exactly.
Never. No, I don't. No, I don't ever.
So first thing that we're going to talk, it's a small thing. And this side is linked a little bit with what we did, the effort that, well, the game design team did mostly with diminishing returns. And it was revisiting how do we surface speed for players. So,
Fast means are fast.
currently, our progress bar that is mostly seen by survivors is interesting to say in a way. It works in mysterious ways. So we have noticed time and time again that the way it varies in colors is hard to understand for newer players. So there's this idea of saying, okay, I'm seeing the speed change, but the colors not always match this change of speed. Why is it happening? So
Color depends on personal speed. Yeah.
Then depending on personal speed, that we also have used it to suggest some tactics that I'm going to mention. But this thing we think we could do better for players to just immediately understand what is happening. So when I mention the tactics, a lot of people can understand that when working on gens, the gen is going very quick because you are doubling down. It turns red because there is a personal debuff, and it's a
Yep.
viable strategy for the survivor to scatter around and tackle different gens at the same time, because you can put more pressure on us killers. So
Yes.
yeah, no fun for me. No, it's fun. Although, and sometimes, of course, it's also a valid strategy to double down. But that's why colors were the way they were. So we got to the point where a new player would see gold is fast or yellow is fast, red is fast too. So what is happening? So what are we doing? It's not only putting a interesting animation there to better surface the speed changes.
Who missed the skill
so you
check?
can see, yeah, why did you have to say that? Also, I got
missed
the
the
reaction.
skill check?
Yeah, that's me. People know I'm a killer
You're
main.
such a killer main.
Yes, but at least I know to crouch after missing.
Yes, I'm
skill
very
check,
proud
so-
of the crouching and teabagging. I
Okay.
have to say, I'm really sorry, guys, for blowing that gen. I'm
Yes,
proud of you.
Yes.
I'm proud of you.
But
Oh my
going
god.
back to the video,
Can you stop looking at the
you can
gen
see
and be
that,
serious with this example,
being
please?
alone there, it was in red color because I had a debuff, and as soon as after missing the skill check, another survivor joins me. Now it's going gold because at the end of the day, the speed overall of the gen is higher than the normal one. So now we're making it in a way that's matching. Always it uses the same language for speed representation, and it's matching.
Okay, the
over
failed
game.
skill check is
So,
actually
in
bothering
a
me
way,
now.
we think this is clearer, smoother, and it's going to maybe feel a little bit weird for people that we are used to the other thing, but we believe this is going to help. So that was the tiny thing. Because we have something else to
Teams
talk
and
about.
solo queue. Okay.
And it's the gap that we have between people playing as a team, friends, surviving with friends,
Okay, they're
and
addressing
solo queue
this.
experiences. So we know how difficult it can be. Understanding what other people are doing when you're not talking to them, so you don't know what is on their minds. So for instance, if I happen to play as a survivor, hopefully not missing that many skill checks, I usually pack will make it. So I can go in an opportunity to unhook someone, kill them faster,
Yeah, the
maybe kill
altruistic
someone
one.
else if I have
Yeah.
this time to do so. I don't know if someone else is using the same perk.
That's true.
I don't know if someone else is using Deliverance and need the
Exactly.
you know?
Thank you.
Okay,
for
so they're
mentioning someone
okay, so
Yeah.
they're going to
stealing
like
my
add
Gabby.
this in somehow.
I'll be more careful.
I did have an
also
idea.
sometimes people
Okay, I do. Okay, I did have like an idea of like how to like include this only like review like the person like specific scenarios, but let's see how they're going to include it.
and I'll be more careful. And also sometimes people don't have perks related to this, but they think I should be going there.
Yeah.
So what happens at the end of the day, you don't know what is happening to them. They can get frustrated. Everyone think that everyone is a coconut, and the experience as a solo queue player is not ideal.
Yeah.
So it's tough to communicate with them to really have some
Yeah.
synergy while
Synergy.
playing. Thank you.
Maybe sign
Synergy,
languages or
It will
something.
happen easier for me in Spanish.
That would have been harder for me. I can't manage French.
So learning about other people's choices and learning the game through that is
Yeah.
harder on solo queue. So at the end of the day, there's a big difference. There's a gap between playing alone and playing
Yeah.
with others. So
Yeah, a
super
huge
thing
gap.
is allowing you, when you get into the match, to open the match details. And now you will have this initial page of the match details that's going to allow you to see not only your loadout options, but the rest of your team's.
Hold on.
See not only your.
Please don't tell me this reveals like the killer, because that's not gonna be good, because like killer's need the element of surprise. Hopefully they clarify this.
Loadout options.
But like this is
but
okay, I
the rest of
guess.
your team's loadout options.
It's nice to know like
I
your teammates' perks.
I add emphasis.
But that might just like encourage lobby dodging, and okay, right. So like how I would how I would like implement this would be different. I think that I think I might do it like for like another video like down the line after I finish the offering video.
We got a lot of W's in the chat. Look, it's like it's funny, but
It
all the
doesn't
way
matter,
through
yeah.
the stream, I have been watching people say, "Show teams perks, show teams
Oh,
perks."
nice.
It's come up constantly, so
Oh,
I was
finally.
waiting for this moment, and I knew the chat was gonna go
That's
a
great.
bit insane. So yes, I think
Oh, okay,
like, this has been a hugely requested feature.
Yeah.
let's be fair.
Yeah, we have heard the community.
Yeah.
We have worked.
This is
finding
probably going
what
to
is
encourage lobby dodging
best,
though.
Solution or version of this we can deliver and keep improving on. So I'm happy that we have so many W's there.
Yeah, and it's after match start.
After match
Yeah.
start, yes.
Yeah, after match start, so no lobby
Be sure
dodging.
that people start taking this once they are there to play together, and we don't have people that may just decide to go into another match because they don't like someone like me using Will Make It. So
We'll make it as goated.
Yeah,
It's very underrated. It's a goated perk.
Yeah. So one thing that I need to mention here, and I understand that for some killer players, this may come as an extra challenge. Again, I'm a killer main, and I understand that, for instance, if I play as Ghostface, that's not the most common thing for me, and my favorite is Xenomorph. There was this space of uncertainty that I could use to my favor. Right now, if you see the video, if you watch the video, you're going to see that the power icon is also visible. Not your loadout. Survivors are not going to be able to see your loadout, but they can check which killer there is there. So we want
I'm not a fan of the fact that that this exists, like, because like the kill because like some killers like need the element of surprise, because for example, if someone like immediately knew that it was like a hag, then they would just like immediately like run over like to disruptor. Like trap killers like need the element of surprise, and so do stealth killers, because like that's like the main thing.
to also take this opportunity to start surfacing this thing without much hints, without breaking any gameplay uncertainty and fun for the healers and for the whole match. And we will be taking how do we make for the ambush, for the stealthy killers, experience still an interesting challenge from T0, from the start of the match.
Yeah, because I think that's definitely chat's concern right now, is that showing that killer, showing the stealth, the fact that it's a stealth killer, things like that.
Yeah.
And we're going to be monitoring this, and we will be working here with Matt and the rest of the team to be sure that we address this
And
potential issue.
this is almost specifically an issue with stealth killers.
Yeah,
There's a lot,
exactly.
and I mean a lot of ways. to
And also set of
identify the killer
killers.
early on.
Exactly.
Right? Even as a solo player, there's a lot of ways to identify it. And the only thing that's not identified is when they're stealth killers. Right? So,
You know, if you don't hear a heartbeat and things like that, you
Yeah.
know it's a stealth killer.
yeah.
So this also gave us the opportunity to go into spectator mode and now allow you to interact with the HUD. So we are
Okay.
totally on this idea of making the game more engaging for new players and experienced players alike. So as you can see on the video, you can hover on the perk, you can hover on status.
Okay, I don't have a problem with this.
A custom game.
This is
something
fine.
We're going to be able to do now. And we hope this is something that is also interesting for content creators, for streamers, and for us to, again, keep improving. So it's something that helps everyone for their needs. And
This is fine, I have no issue with
to
it.
keep the game alive and ever more interesting.
It's great for new players as well.
Yeah.
Because you can
Yeah.
see your teammates playing perks you haven't identified yet, you're not familiar.
Okay, so on the topic of like the killer like reveal thing, I think it's fine like for like A and S tier killers, but like for like because like I feel like the stars like need to be like aware of those like because of their strength. Like for example, if it's like blight, then they should like keep their guards up like immediately or something. If they do decide to go through it, but like a lot of killers, especially like setup killers and stealth killers, they need the element of surprise. So yeah.
familiar with and how and when to use them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Exactly.
think that's the main use case for me, is that for newer players, and because there's a lot of game to learn.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
really hard for the new players.
3 years in and still there, still
Yeah.
learning, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay,
to
new
final note,
auras.
As we mentioned last time, we said we are going to keep looking into putting more auras out there for you to customize color-wise. So listening to you and proceeding with the continuous improvement plan, we are allowing now to customize key gameplay auras regarding
Okay,
effects,
generators,
perks that come from
host
power
survivor on the
and so on.
palette,
You see here highlighted market surface. Surface has to do with auras that show you elements.
Okay.
So for instance, eruption or deja vu.
Killer objects.
Mark when you have mark something that you want the aura to be there. So Xenomorph, my main, when I point to a control station and I just mark it so I can go into the tunnels and know where I should be going, there you go. And highlighted, it is when you are looking at auras and we change it by default to red. You can change this too. Killer objects as part of the just your customization. So if you would rather, instead of having white as a color, you can choose anything else for your killer object. Maybe you're playing as Mina and now you want another color that is more in theme with her.
Something brighter.
Yeah. And finally, although I think the slide went out, but anyway.
Yeah, what about
Breakable walls.
skirt
What's a
checks?
little breakable wall? It's like it's just
Breakable
a
walls line.
extra thing. Yay, there it is. But there we are.
Thank you, Diego. There's a lot of information on that. Thank you so very, very much.
Oh, thank
and
you.
a reminder to everybody, you're going to get a chance to test everything out in the PTB. Community team, as usual, will be on all our platforms getting the feedback. So please let us know exactly what you think of everything. Always, as we say, PTB, it's not set in stone. There's things that we can change, stuff like that. So the feedback is super important. And I think we've got a wrap for today. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you for joining us. Thank the mods for doing an amazing job. And thank everybody from behind the scenes to have made this possible and been fairly smooth going and relaxed for a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good day to end our short week.
Oh, a short week. Yeah, short week. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Long weekend.
Hey, don't come in tomorrow.
No, I won't come in. I forget. I'll forget and come in tomorrow. So thank you all very, very much. PTB Tuesday, 11 a.m., give or take a minute or two. And and we're going to be heading over to Linksy to raid. So please go and send her a lot of love.
Wait, Linksy? Okay, so I believe that I believe that she's like a twins main, like a minute link CDVD. I mean, I think she might be like live, right?
That's why I don't have long hair anymore. There's this thing, we get chemo curls, so I have, these curls are not natural.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get my hair.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, that's so yeah, that is this reaction stream. I'm going to play DVD now because need to get them with the P100. Bye.